There is a strange pattern that keeps repeating itself in dating and relationships. You have probably noticed it too. A guy can have everything going for him. He is fit, makes good money, dresses well, knows how to hold a conversation, yet somehow women just do not seem interested beyond surface level. They talk to him, maybe even go out once or twice, but the spark never catches fire. Then there is another guy, average looking, regular job, nothing particularly flashy about him. But women are drawn to him like a magnet. They remember conversations with him months later. They think about him when he is not around. They feel something real when they are with him. What is the difference? Most men assume it is luck or chemistry or some mysterious quality you either have or you do not. But that is not true. The difference comes down to something much simpler, yet completely overlooked. It has nothing to do with cheesy pickup lines or playing games. It is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about understanding a fundamental truth about human connection that most men completely miss. Women do not fall for who you are on paper. They fall for how you make them feel in the moments you share together. That might sound obvious, but very few men actually live by this principle. They focus on what they say instead of what they communicate through their energy. They worry about impressing her instead of making her feel genuinely comfortable. They rush toward physical intimacy without building emotional safety first. And here is what happens as a result. She might like you on a logical level. She might recognize that you are a good person. But emotionally, nothing sticks. There is no depth, no real pull, just polite interest that fades as soon as someone else comes along who actually knows how to create that emotional resonance. Now, think about your own experiences for a moment. Have you ever felt a connection with someone slip away and you could not figure out why? Maybe things seemed fine on the surface, conversations were decent, no obvious red flags. But then suddenly, she became distant. Responses got shorter, plans stopped happening, and you were left wondering what went wrong. Most of the time, it is not one big mistake. It is a series of small misunderstandings about what actually builds attraction. These are subtle things that happen beneath the surface. Things most men do not even realize matter, but they matter a lot. And when you miss them repeatedly, you end up confused about why your results do not match your effort. Here is something that might surprise you. Women are incredibly perceptive. They notice details men do not even think about. The way you carry yourself when you walk into a room, how you respond when something does not go your way, whether you listen just to reply or actually absorb what she is saying. These small behaviors reveal far more about you than anything you could say about yourself, and women pick up on them instantly. Not consciously always, but emotionally. Their instincts read these signals and form impressions before their rational mind even catches up. One of the biggest mistakes men make is assuming attraction works like a transaction. They think if they check enough boxes, say the right things, look good enough, then attraction will automatically follow. But that is not how it works. Attraction is not logical. It is emotional. It grows in the space between words. In the way you hold eye contact, just a beat longer than necessary. In how your voice changes when you talk about something you care about. In whether she feels like she can be herself around you without being judged or pressured. Let me give you an example. Two men take the same woman out to dinner on different nights. The first guy is charming. He tells great stories. He makes her laugh. Everything seems perfect on the surface. But throughout the entire evening, he is performing. He is trying to impress her, trying to win her over. Every word feels rehearsed, every gesture calculated. She enjoys the evening, but when she gets home, she does not think about him much. It felt nice, but forgettable. The second guy is different. He is not trying to impress her. He is relaxed. He asks questions and actually listens to the answers. He is not afraid of silence. When she talks, he leans in slightly, genuinely curious. He does not interrupt or steer the conversation back to himself. There are moments where he gently teases her, but it feels playful, not mean. At one point, she mentions something she is stressed about, and instead of offering solutions right away, he just acknowledges how she feels. That simple validation makes her feel seen in a way she rarely experiences. When she gets home that night, she replays moments from the dinner in her mind. She feels something, a warmth, a curiosity, a sense that maybe this guy is different. What did the second guy do differently? He was present. He was not performing or chasing. He was just there, fully engaged, creating space for a real human connection to form. That presence is magnetic. It is rare. And it is something most men never develop because they are too focused on techniques and tactics instead of simply being grounded in themselves. Now, here's another layer most men miss entirely. Women crave emotional safety more than almost anything else. Not safety in the physical sense, though that matters too. Emotional safety means she can relax around you. She does not have to manage your feelings or walk on eggshells. She does not feel pressure to be someone she is not. She knows you are not going to react poorly if she disagrees with you. She trusts that you can handle yourself without needing constant validation from her. When a woman feels emotionally safe, everything else becomes easier. Conversations flow, laughter comes naturally. Physical closeness does not feel forced or awkward. She lets her guard down because she knows she does not have to protect herself around you. But here is the problem. Most men unconsciously create emotional tension instead of safety. They get nervous, and that nervousness makes her nervous. They seek her approval, which puts pressure on her to perform. They react defensively to small things, which signals insecurity. Or they push for physical escalation before emotional trust is built, which makes her feel like an object rather than a person. None of this is done with bad intentions. Most men simply do not realize the impact their energy has on the women around them. Let me share another scenario. Imagine you are sitting next to someone you are interested in. The conversation is going well. There is a natural lull. Most guys panic in this moment. They rush to fill the silence with words. Any words. They ask random questions or tell another story just to avoid the discomfort. But a man who understands connection does something different. He lets the silence exist. He does not rush. He might glance at her and smile. Or he might adjust his posture and relax deeper into his seat. That ease communicates confidence. It shows he is comfortable in his own skin. He does not need to control every moment. And that calm presence is incredibly attractive because it gives her permission to relax too. This idea extends into physical touch as well. Most men either avoid touch completely out of fear or they jump into it awkwardly without reading the situation. But there is a middle ground that very few understand. Light, non-sexual touch done with respect and awareness can deepen connection faster than almost anything else. A brief touch on her arm when emphasizing a point, a gentle hand on her lower back when guiding her through a crowded space. A warm hug that lasts just a second longer than normal. These moments, when done naturally, create a sense of closeness that words cannot replicate. But timing and intention matter. If touch feels needy or forced, it backfires instantly. It has to come from a place of genuine comfort, not strategy. When you are relaxed and present, touch becomes a natural extension of the connection you are already building. She does not question it because it feels right in the moment. And that feeling stays with her long after the interaction ends. Here is something else worth understanding. Women remember how you make them feel far more than what you actually say. You could have the most brilliant conversation in the world, but if the emotional tone felt off, she will not want to see you again. On the other hand, even a simple interaction can leave a lasting impression if the emotional quality was strong. That is why men who focus too much on what to say often struggle, while men who focus on how they show up naturally attract women without even trying. Think about the energy you bring into interactions. Are you calm or anxious? Are you trying to control the outcome or allowing things to unfold naturally? Are you focused on impressing her or genuinely enjoying the moment? These internal shifts change everything. When you stop trying so hard and start being more present, women notice. They feel the difference and they respond to it. Another critical piece is how you handle moments when things do not go perfectly. Maybe you say something awkward. Maybe there is a miscommunication. Most men either overreact or try to fix it immediately. But a confident man simply acknowledges it and moves on. He does not dwell. He does not apologize excessively. He just stays grounded. That ability to remain steady, even when things are not perfect, shows emotional maturity. It shows that you are not fragile. And that stability is deeply attractive. Women also appreciate men who have a life outside of dating. When you are overly available or make her the center of your world too quickly, it creates pressure. She feels responsible for your happiness. But when you have your own interests, your own goals, your own sense of purpose, it makes you more attractive. She sees that you are a whole person, not someone looking for her to complete you. That independence is magnetic because it shows you are choosing to spend time with her, not clinging to her out of neediness. Now, let me address something important. None of this is about manipulation or playing games. It is about becoming the kind of man who naturally creates the conditions for genuine connection. When you are grounded, present, and emotionally aware, you do not need tricks. You do not need to pretend. You just show up as yourself, and that authenticity becomes your greatest strength. But here is the catch. Most men never develop this because they are too busy chasing shortcuts. They look for magic phrases or perfect techniques instead of doing the inner work that actually matters. They want results without putting in the effort to understand themselves first. And that is why they keep hitting the same walls over and over again. Real attraction is not built through manipulation. It is built through presence, respect, emotional intelligence, and the courage to be vulnerable without being weak. When you understand these principles deeply, everything changes. You stop worrying about what to say. You stop overthinking every interaction. You just exist in a way that naturally draws people toward you. So where does that leave you? If you recognize yourself in any of the patterns I described, do not feel bad. Most men go through this. The fact that you are here paying attention means you are already ahead of the majority. Awareness is the first step. Once you see these dynamics clearly, you can start making small adjustments. You can practice being more present. You can work on managing your own emotional state instead of relying on her validation. You can start noticing how your energy affects the people around you. These changes do not happen overnight, but they compound over time. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice. Every conversation becomes a chance to be more grounded. And slowly, you will notice women responding differently. Not because you are doing anything manipulative, but because you are showing up as a more complete version of yourself. The men who truly stand out are not the loudest or the flashiest. They are the ones who make women feel safe, seen, and valued. They create space for real connection without forcing it. They understand that attraction is not something you chase. It is something you cultivate through how you show up in every moment. And once you grasp that, everything else falls into place naturally.